Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? This is Clark Knives here, back with another video for you. And I got a pretty cool little video. I'm going to do, holy cow, I'm over here stuttering it up. I've done, I think, two of these videos, but I'm going to go ahead and do another one because why not? I can't get enough of these stupid trappers. So I've been getting quite a few trappers here recently, and I wanted to go ahead and do kind of an updated entire case trapper collection. So that's what we're going to do. But first off, we got a couple mail calls from some fellers on the YouTubes. We got 865 knives here with the good old Whack Donald's slip. And then he sent me a Haterade sticker. Stay Salty, 865 knives, the original gangster. And then some Tennessee River Boys stickers. Got RH Blade and Shade there, Make Cutlery Great Again, Travis the Case Guy, and also 865 knives. So go check them other dudes out if you want to. They got some cool channels. Also go check out 865 knives. This dude is awesome. He's got a lot of really cool knives, fellas. And then he sent me a couple of these normal, this is just his YouTube logo, 865 knives. And then he's part of the Muskrat Mafia. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he's the one who came up with Muskrat Mafia. If he's not, forgive me, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure he is. I don't know though. Muskrat Mafia. I do not have a muskrat. I almost got one couple years back, but I ended up not. Hang on, I got a couple other stickers in here. But anyways, and then he sent me some of these little holographic ones. But yeah, and something else that he sent me, he watches a lot of my lives, and he's seen that I had a Ken Griffey Jr. card, and I really like Ken Griffey Jr., so he sent me one. And then another card that I've been wanting was a Randy Johnson card. I didn't have any Randy Johnson cards. So he said, hey, you don't have any of my stickers yet, so I'm going to go ahead and send you a couple stickers. A couple, And he told me he's going to send me a Randy Johnson card as well. I did not know that Ken Griffey Jr. was coming. So I'm quite happy about that. These are going to go in my my baseball card collection box, which, I could do a video on those, but then we would be... be here for a long time. I'll put it that way. So if you ever want to check out my baseball cards, most of the time whenever I go live, I'll do a baseball card collection, just because I get bored of looking at knives after so long and just start showing off baseball cards. So anyways, and then we got another mail call. Richter Knives sent me some good old stickers. I told him, I was like, hey bud, we've been friends for how long now and I don't have any stickers, And he's like, dude, holy cow. Well, he sent me some stickers. And also, Richter Knives watches a lot of my lives. And we talk, me and 865, Aaron at 865, talk quite a bit about baseball. And them two dudes were the two dudes that stayed around the longest while I was talking about my baseball cards. Well, anyways, he was like, oh, dude, you don't have a Randy Johnson card neither? He said he's going to send me some Randy Johnson cards as well. And here's the first one. This one's a pretty slick card right here. 10th anniversary. Golly. And, you can not know baseball and know who Randy Johnson is. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's not a single person in this world that hates Randy Johnson. Well, hang on, I'll take that back. I'm pretty sure there's no non-MLB player people that dislike Randy Johnson. Because, I won't even get into it. If you don't know who Randy Johnson is, go look him up. Go watch some of his highlights. I know that pigeons really hate Randy Johnson. So I'll leave that with you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like I said, go look him up. There's another pretty sweet one. Pretty sweet one. And then he sent me a couple and some sleeves here. Randy Johnson. This one's probably my favorite one. Either that one or this one. Just look at that mullet. Look at that mullet and that mustache, fellas. Randy Johnson had one of the best mullets and mustaches in baseball history, in my opinion. And then he sent me an Aaron Judge card. Holy cow. He knows I like Aaron Judge pretty good. I have a couple of his cards. And, yeah. These fellers, go check them out. If you haven't subscribed to their channel, I don't know why you haven't. I mean, it's just 2 little buttons. I'll put their channels in the description. Go check them out after this video. Go watch their videos. They got a lot of cool knives. Really great guys. I like them a lot. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. We're already 5 minutes in this video, and I haven't even got into the knives yet. First knife. Got the, and most of these are going to be full-sized. I only have a couple minis left. I used to have quite a few minis, but I've been slimming them out some. But first off, we got this Case Chestnut Jig Bone, and this is CV. Got the, as you can see, this one's kind of different. The jigging starts way down here and goes all the way to the end bolster. And I pointed this out in the video that I made, and it does the same thing on this side. It's smooth right here, and this one's kind of rough jigged. Same with this, smooth, rough jig. So it was very kind of weird, I guess. I haven't really seen too many chestnut jig bone knives like this. If you go look at Richter Knives and RH Blade and Shades, and also, well, go look at Richter Knives and RH Blade and Shades. That's what your typical chestnut jig bone looks like. Mine is kind of, I would say it's kind of similar to how Big J's knives look. If you don't know who he is either, go check him out. I think I've got his sticker here. Folks, just buckle your seatbelt. We're going to be here for a little while. Big J's Knives, go check him out. He's got a lot of chestnut jig bone. He actually just posted a video on that, heck, probably 5 hours ago. It's a really great video. Go check it out. But anyways, my full-size chestnut jig looks pretty similar to his, actually. And these are the only 2 that I've kind of seen color-wise on the main side here. The pile side is what most of them look like, except for the jigging. Jigging's a little different. This one's kind of a safe queen. It's not really a safe queen just because it has no really sentimental value to me. I mean, I traded a GEC knife for this one, actually, to Kent Smith on Instagram. But anyways, you know, he sent me full pictures of it. I'm not mad or anything, and I kind of should have paid attention to it, but I don't think the tip's bent or anything like that. No, it's pretty straight. If anything, it's just the tiniest bit bent. But it rubs the liner there, both blades, and whenever you tap it, it makes that little dinging noise. And that really, it kind of irritates me a little bit, I'll be honest with you. See, if I hold it down here, it's fine, kind of. But whenever those blades, whenever they're not secure, you know, they get to rattling on me. And that, I mean, it ticks me off, but oh well. This is in the 60, this is 6254 CV steel, so she's gonna get a patina on her. And then this is a, let's see here, I can't see how many dots it's got. 9, so this is gonna be a 2021 knife, which par for the course with the newer case knife, rubbing and all that. Back springs are a little wonky. Couple gaps, no big deal at all. Case knives, still great knives, even if they've got wonky back springs, gaps, and off-center, you know, blades. Still love them. Great knives. On to the second one. This is my Case Smooth Bone Stars and Stripes. This is the natural bone. This is one of their newest runs with the carbon steel, I'm pretty sure. I really like this bone, and I talked to Doom Crew Outdoors today about trading it away, and then I got it out and kind of started messing with it, and I was like, okay, I'm glad he didn't have anything to trade, because I was looking for a stockman, and he didn't have one, so he said sorry. And I was like, okay, good, because I actually kind of wanted to keep this thing after I got it out and looked at it, you know. But we got the carbon steel blades here. Good old patina. You know how it goes. And then one thing I really like using these knives for is cutting the ribs out of fillets of fish. You know, I crappie fish. Well, no, I don't really necessarily crappie fish, but I bass fish. I eat bass. Yeah, people think I'm gonna think I'm weird. Whatever. You eat catfish, I eat bass. You know, you can have that nasty catfish. I'll eat my bass. But anyways, as you can see there's a couple of little fish scale patina spots from where there was some scales stuck on the blade there. And yeah, I'll just take it and I'll kind of go around the rib bones, you know, cut them out, and then I'll use my electric fillet knife to fillet the fish, of course, because this is a little small to fillet a whole fish. You could probably fillet a fish, you know, smaller size crappie with this, but it'd be kind of difficult. You'd have to really have it really sharp. And then here's the spay blade. I haven't used this knife all that much, really. That's why there's no patina on the spay blade. I used this a couple times. I think I used this to cut a steak, and then, like I said, cut the rib bones out of that fish. And then most of this other patina is just from sweat. Really, just from sweat. And why there hadn't been any sweat patina come on this blade, I have no idea. You can kind of see maybe just a little bit of like pepper spots and all that, but yeah. I did handpick this one at the store, so that's why I'm kind of glad I'm keeping it. Just because, and they have kind of switched on me a little bit, but the blades were dead center, and there's no gaps. And, you know, it don't ting or nothing like that. So I really like this. Fit and finish is pretty good. So, you know, that just goes to show you that Case Knives still knows what they're doing. Sometimes they do mess up, and sometimes they'll have a bad one come out, but that's no big deal at all. They still have some really good knives coming out. And then for this one, which is very odd, for me at least, if y'all know me very well, y'all know that I don't really like stainless steel all that much, and I don't hardly ever carry stainless steel. So the only reason I have this knife is because my pops bought it for me. My dad bought it for me. This was my first case knife ever. My first case knife. Dad bought this for me on my birthday one year, and I carried this thing from the time I got it to, oh heck, when did I start like really getting into knives? Probably 2023, late 2023 is whenever I started really getting into these pocket knives and kind of starting to collect more. All I do is I get them and then I use them. I don't really collect them. They just stay in my, stay in my gun cabinet. But anyways, yeah, I got this, and this is a 2020 knife. I got this in 2020 and for my birthday. Used the absolute fire out of it, and lost it quite a few times. I remember one time I lost this knife and I thought I was gonna be sick just because this was my favorite knife, you know. I just beat it up and did all this and that with it, and this was the knife, you know. This was the coolest knife I'd ever seen. But, you know, like I said, I've used this knife so much that I just, after I got all these others, I put this in retirement and I don't use it anymore. It's just more sentimental than anything. And then, like I said, I'm not big on stainless. It's kind of hard to sharpen. And I probably haven't sharpened it since I got it on my birthday, to be honest with you. I think it's still got factory edge from whenever I got it on my birthday. And it's still, I mean, it'll grab my fingernail there. It's still pretty darn sharp. That stainless, that's, you know, that's one thing they do good. It'll take a razor sharp edge, but it's just too hard to sharpen for me. I like the carbon steel. I can just run it on a strop a couple times and it'll be back to crazy sharp, you know. Alrighty, this one probably looks a little different to y'all. Y'all probably ain't seen a bone like this. But anyways, Brother Ryan at RH Blade and Shade gave this to me, gifted it to me. And this was at one time a, what is that called? Dark red jig bone. Yeah, I think that's what's called, dark red jig bone. And then what he done was he modified it, and he burnt the crap out of it, and then it left a little bit of this red here. You can still kind of see the red there. And then he gifted it to me, and I was like, hey, you care if I tinker around with this and kind of modify it myself? And he's like, no, dude, go ahead. You know, it's yours now. He was happy to see me tinkering with it now, because, you know, it's been through him and now me. So I decided to sand it down, because I seen there was some orange on the inside. And I was like, you know what, I bet that looked pretty cool. So I took me some sandpaper, sanded it down quite a bit. I should go over it with a little bit finer just to kind of polish that bone back up. But, you know, it's cool. Anyways, it's got a very unique kind of color here. Almost kind of like an Appaloosa, I guess you could say. But yeah, just a cool knife. Got a cool story behind it. And then there's some of his patina. I haven't really... Oh, that may come off. That may lop off, actually. No, I guess not. Yeah, this is all his patina. This is not mine. I haven't even, like I said, I modified it myself, and then I've kind of kept it put up. I haven't really used it all that much. I did carry it a couple days, and then I think I got my chestnut bone in, and then I was using that. But yeah, pretty sweet little knife there. And then on to my last full-size trapper. Most of y'all have probably seen this. This is my Case whiskey bone knife. Pretty sweet little story behind this one. I got this on eBay. This was listed as a Case red bone trapper. And, you know, the pictures were deceiving as heck. The only thing that caught my eye about this knife was the shield. And I was like, holy cow, I think that's a whiskey bone knife. I wish I could post the pictures on here. I don't really know how to do that. I don't have the editing skills or an editor. So just believe me when I say the pictures on this eBay profile was horrendous, you know. So, you know, this guy didn't know what he had, and he wanted $110 or $115 for it, and I was not paying that because it was rusty. It needed some work, you know, all that. So I was like, hey, you know, if you can lower the price, I'll buy it today. And, you know, he sent me an offer through eBay and said, you know, I think he offered me $95 for it. And I was like, whoa, that's still way too high. And then, you know, I said, okay, well, $80 right now, and I'll take it, you know, because I knew I could clean it up, make it look good, and it would be pretty much back to normal. And he was like, all right, you know what, send me $80 and I'll take it. So that's what I did. And then I sold the knife because the bills are getting expensive. But anyways, I bought this bad boy, got it home. It was in pretty rough shape. It didn't hardly open, didn't hardly close, and it kind of just, that was kind of how it snapped. But anyways, then whenever you opened it, let me bump the camera 800 times. It opened like this. Listen to it now. This spade blade has some gator snap, boys. Let me tell you. But anyways, yeah, I put some mineral oil on the bone, polished the blades up, took some 800 grit sandpaper to it, and then took some 3000 to it to smooth it out, and it's got one heck of a patina. This is from some pork chops, the little rainbows you can see there. It's from pork chops that I cut up today. But ever since I posted this knife on my YouTube channel, I've been carrying it. It's been staying in my belt sheath, my or what's it called, pancake sheath? Yeah, I think so. And then this is in the CV. This was back to Doom Crew Outdoors. That was the guy, man. I'm telling you, that was the guy that got me started on this trapper. And I would go back and watch his video on his whiskey bone trapper. I would want to say a good 2 times a month, maybe. I'd go back and watch his whiskey bone video, and he made that video a long time ago. But and then I texted him. I was like, dude, I found one. And he was like, what are you talking about? Or no, I said I just want to say thank you. And he was like, 4, and I told him, I said, for making me want one of these whiskey bones. And he was like, oh, okay, I got you, buddy, and then I showed him, and he was quite happy for me. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it's not in the best of shape. As you can see, there's some pretty bad carbon pitting from there, but this thing is a user, and that's what I do. I use my knives, I don't Tinkerbell them around. I don't really know where that came from, but Tinkerbelling is gonna be my new saying. You can't really tell, but the spade blade is bent pretty bad. It's bent to the right there, and then that causes it to rub up against the liner and get. You can kind of see the scratches there. You can kind of see where it rubs. I don't think you can see on the liner on the inside. Hang on. Oh, never mind. I don't have my pocket flashlight with me. But anyways, it rubs just right in there. No big deal. I'm not too worried about it. She got some good teener going. And this is probably my favorite trapper I've got right now. And like I said, it ain't left my pancake sheet since I got the thing. All right, and then moving on to the last 2 trappers that I have, the mini trappers. This is probably my most used mini trapper. Probably my most used knife out of all of them, to be honest with you. I've had this thing for quite a while, and I've used it quite a bit. I've just thrown it in the pocket, whatever. I'll throw it across, the shop. I won't actually throw it across the shop, but I wouldn't be afraid to throw this thing across the shop. I've had to hammer the bolsters a couple times. As you can see, the pin's sitting out there pretty good, just because the blade's getting a little loose from me, I mean, I was abusive to this knife. I really kind of put the hammer to this one to see how tough these things really are. And, I didn't do it intentionally, but I wasn't afraid to use it, is what I'm saying. And this thing, it is just the craziest knife you'll ever see. I love this knife, I don't think there's one that could replace it, to be honest with you. I've used this spade blade to try and pry out a staple one time, and I mean, I was giving it all I had pretty much, and the blade didn't break. The blade didn't break, put it that way. It's been a real good one. Fit and finish is not great at all. Let me show you. You can see them back springs there. They're not even whatsoever. There's a gap down here a little bit. And then, surprisingly, the back springs are actually very flush. Blades they're not center at all. This bolster's crooked, but that's probably from me, And like I said, the blades wobbled. And they still do a little bit, so I've hammered that kind of shut. But, like I said, this knife is never going to let you down. I have abused the absolute crap out of this knife, and it has never let me down. Still cuts, still gets to a razor edge. And I mean, you can't go wrong with it. This is a Shepherd Hills exclusive, Shepherd Hills color exclusive, and it's 2021. I'm not sponsored for or anything, and I'm not trying to. People are gonna say in the comments, well, oh my gosh, look who's riding Case knives, you know, blah, blah, blah. No, I ain't riding Case knives. I'm just saying, you know, I agree their quality sucks sometimes. And I mean it. Their quality sucks sometimes. And it really makes me mad. But these knobs ain't going to let you down. If it's super bad, send it to them. They'll give you a new one. That's one thing I really like about Case knives. They'll give you a new one, by golly. And they are good knives, you know. These Case knives don't have nothing on a GEC knife by no means, and that's my opinion, you know. If you don't like it, don't watch the video, I guess. But they ain't got nothing on GEC, but they are something else. They are something. If you need a good, reliable knife, go get you one. You can see that Delrin's pretty scratched up and banged up there. But yeah, good patina. This was, I want to say this was my first carbon steel knife, actually. I could be wrong. I don't know. Seeing as how it's a 2021, I think it was. And I did get this thing on sale for, I think, like $30 at the knife store where I lived, which was Case Shepherd Hills Cutlery. I lived in a town in Missouri, and they had one of them stores there, and I picked this dude up for a killer price. And then that's around the time whenever I started watching Richter Knives and all that. He was probably the first YouTuber that I started watching. Well, anyways, that's when I learned what carbon steel was, and once I seen that patina, boys, I'm telling you, I was hooked. So I went and found this knife, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. And then I fell in love. But enough of that knife. On to the last one. Last mini trapper I got is this Case Chestnut Jig Bone mini trapper. And I've been missing out on some of these years. I apologize. Most of these ones I have are newer, besides this whiskey bone. I don't really know. There's 2 X's and 2 deals, so that's let's see. What's this one? Okay, so I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be a 2016. This one's a 2016 because there's 4 X's, no dots. And then this one is a 18 with 2 X's, no dots. So anyways, this is a 2018 Case Chestnut Jig Bone. And then here, this is like my other full-sized chestnut jig bone. It's got that dark jig on this side, and then it's kind of got that light, as you can see there. And this is in the CV. I've carried this knife quite a bit, and I'm probably going to carry it tomorrow for Sunday. Just because I haven't had it out in a little while, and I kind of missed this thing, so I'm going to throw it in the pocket tomorrow and give her some use. But I really enjoy this knife. I got this, believe it or not, Big J helped me find this knife. I forgot about that. Yep, I talked to Big J and was like, cool story behind this. So I was on Facebook. Sorry, I bumped the camera. I was on Facebook and I posted, you know, ISO Case Chestnut Jig Bone Trapper. I did trapper or mini trapper. I preferred the mini trapper at the time. Well, anyways, I had a scammer text me. Stupid scammer. And he sent me a video of a knife. And I was like, okay, well, you know, let me see it. And he sent me a couple pictures of a chestnut jig bone knife. And then I really got to looking at it. And I was like, I'll be darned. That is 2 different pictures of knives. Well, anyways, I'll show you the difference here. It was pictures like, I was like, can you send me a picture of the tang stamps? And he's like, yeah, I got you. And then he sent me a picture like this with the tang stamp. And then he sent me a picture like this or something crazy, you know, something like this. So I couldn't really see the blade, and I should have known because there's a really distinct difference, but the way he sent me the pictures was very weird, and I couldn't hardly tell. So I looked at the tang stamp, and I was like, that's the same knife? And he said, yeah, that's the same knife, you know. And I looked at it, and there was literally this much difference in between the tang stamps. There was like a 2000s tang stamp, or 2020s tang stamp, and then like a 2011's tang stamp. Well, anyways, I was like, dude, are you kidding me? And then, well, I hadn't texted him yet, but I was in my head, I was like, dude, are you kidding me? So I went and searched on YouTube, and I was like, I bet you that's a YouTuber. Anyways, I found out that he had taken a picture, screenshotted pictures of chestnut jig bone trappers off of Big J's YouTube channel. And I told him, I was like, buddy, I'm a YouTuber on YouTube. I kind of pilfer around with knives on YouTube. And I was like, you're not going to fool me. I said, I know a lot of these dudes on YouTube, and I talk to most of them daily. And I said, you're not going to fool me. And, then he kind of quit talking to me or whatever, because he knew that, I knew he was scamming me. So anyways, long story short, I texted Big J, and I told him, I was like, hey, bud, there's some dude on such and such Facebook group using your pictures to try and scam people for chestnut bone knives. And I sent him to him, and he's like, yeah, that was my video. And I was like, well, anyways, while I'm here, would you ever want to get rid of your mini trapper, your chestnut jig bone mini trapper? And he was like, no, probably not. He said he liked it quite a bit, and he was wanting to keep it in his collection. Well, I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I understand. And he said, well, you could probably find one for a decent deal on, All About Pocket Knives, which is AAPK on Google. And I didn't even know what that website was. So this dude literally found this knife on that website, sent it to me, and I was like, holy cow. So I went over that website, and I couldn't fork it up fast enough. Bought the knife. I think I gave like a whopping, I want to say $45 or $50 for this knife. And that's 10 times cheaper than you're going to get it on Facebook or eBay. So I was like, holy cow, dude. Big J for the win. Anyways, that is the story on this knife. I love this thing. It came in the mail perfect. There is no gaps. Back springs are straight. No wobble. Great snap. I actually need to oil that joint. Feels like there's something in there. Great snap. And then, yeah, it's overall just a great knife. All right, well, that is all the trappers I have. I really apologize for making y'all sit here through a 32-minute long video. But you know what? That's part of it. That's part of it. One thing that really kind of led me to do this video was Doom Crew Outdoors' latest video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's kind of a funny video. Mostly just about how people don't watch the full video anymore. And I don't blame them for not watching this video. If you haven't watched this video all the way through, that's no big deal. I get it. It's 32 minutes long. It's kind of hard to sit there and watch a whole video for 32 minutes long. But anyways, with that being said, I watched that video, and then he was talking about a previous video that he had made about nobody watched it all the way through, and he was, being criticized, but nobody watched till the end, of course. I'll let you go watch that video explaining it. And I was like, you know what, I'm kind of intrigued. So I'm going to go back and watch that video because I hadn't seen it. So I went back and watched that whole video, and I was like, yeah, he's right. He's 100% right. Most people don't watch the videos all the way through anymore. But anyways, it was a entire trapper video is what it was. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do an entire trapper video. Show all of mine off. So that's what kind of sparked this idea. Go follow or subscribe. Doom Crew Outdoors. Richter Knives. Big J's. RH Blade and Shade. 865 Knives. I'll put all these guys in the description. I'm not going to hold y'all any longer. I really appreciate everybody watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. And if you've made it this far, go ahead and comment John Deere. Go ahead and comment John Deere in the comments if you've made it this far. I really appreciate everybody, and we will see y'all next time. Peace.